Hello friends, my name is Sachin Tyagi and I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering KIET Group of Institutions Ghaziabad. In this video, I will discuss about the basic introduction of Fourier transform. Before starting the main topic, we should know about why we require the frequency domain description of any time domain signal. If you talk about basics in unit 1, we have discussed about the introduction to signal, where we have come to know about the types of the signal, its classification and the basic operations on signal. Then in next topic I have discussed about the introduction to system, where we have discussed about the basic classification of systems. Then we have calculated the response of the system, of the LTI system we can say, with the help of the basic fundamental mathematical techniques or properties which we are applied on the system, right? That mathematical technique is known as the convolution. We applied the convolution method on the system and find out the response of system. So these all three topics deal with the signal in the time domain. Now it's time to represent our signal in terms of its frequency component. So before representing the signal in terms of its frequency component, we should know the two basic parameters which are required for the entire analysis, which we will do in the coming videos. So let's start with the flowchart. So my dear friends, if we want to transmit our signal, so we have to represent that signal in terms of its frequency component. Before representing, we must know about some basic properties of signal in terms of its time domain. Let's start the explanation. If we have a signal in time domain, let's suppose that signal is x of t. So we can categorize the signal in terms of its two basic classifications. First is periodicity or aperiodicity. If my signal is periodic, then we can represent such signals directly in terms of its AC part and DC part. So that technique is known as the Fourier series. Fourier is a scientist born in 1768 in France. His full name is Jean-Baptiste Joseph Fourier. Okay. So if my signal x of t is periodic, then we can represent such signals directly with the help of Fourier series. Again, if my signal x of t is continuous time, I'll discuss earlier. If my signal is continuous time, then such signals can be represented with the help of continuous time Fourier series. Okay, this is one technique. Similarly, if my signal x of t is discrete time signal, then we can represent such signals in terms of its frequency components with the help of discrete time Fourier series. Similarly, if my signal x of t is aperiodic, now this is the failure of the Fourier series. Means Fourier series is only used to represent the periodic signals. If the signal is aperiodic in time domain, then Fourier series fails. So we can say this is the limitation of Fourier series. Fourier series can't represent aperiodic signal in terms of its frequency component. That's why we will use the Fourier transform. Hence, if my signal x of t is aperiodic, again it is categorized on the basis of two categories. First is if signal is continuous time, if signal is discrete time. So if signal is continuous time signal, then such signals can be represented in terms of its frequency domain with the help of continuous time Fourier transform. Similarly, if my signal in time domain is of discrete nature, then such signals can be represented with the help of discrete time Fourier transform. Now, there is some existence condition of Fourier transform that is known as Dirichlet condition. There are three basic points in the condition. First point is my signal in time domain x of t must be absolutely integrable signal. It means its area must be finite. It means signal should tends to 0 as time t tends to infinity. Clear? Such nature exists in energy signal, right? So we have categorized xt in three basic categories. First is if my signal is energy signal, if my signal is power signal means signal is not absolutely integrable but it is bounded. Bounded word always keep in mind bounded word is represented, or we can say it is defined for y-axis only. This is not for time axis. If I say some signal is bounded, it means its amplitude lies between some finite value. Like we have a sine theta, its curve, its value lies between -1 and +1. We have cos theta, again its value, its amplitude value lies between -1 and +1, right? So power signal is not absolutely integrable, but it is bounded, okay? And third is, if signal is not absolutely integrable and unbounded as well, means the signal is neither energy nor power signal, right? So if my signal is absolutely integrable, this is my very first point of existence condition of Fourier transform, which is known as the Dirichlet condition. Second point is the signal should have a finite number of maxima and minima, and third point is signal must have finite number of discontinuities. These 3 points are the basic points of Dirichlet condition, which gives the existence of Fourier transform of any signal, right? So as per these conditions, if my signal is energy signal, or we can say if my signal is absolutely integrable, for such signal Fourier transform is well defined. Well defined means you can find out the Fourier domain representation of such signal directly with the help of formula. And formula is, if I talk about x of omega equals to integration minus to plus infinity x of t dot e raised to the power minus j omega t into dt. This is the formula to find the Fourier transform with directly, okay? For energy signals, we can directly calculate the Fourier transform with the help of formula, because these signals are absolutely integrable signals. Whereas if the signal is power signal, means signal is not absolutely integrable, but it is bounded between some finite amplitude value, right? For such signals, Fourier transform is limitedly defined, means there is at least one single point at which the Fourier transform of such signals becomes non-existence, becomes we can say Fourier transform of such signals at this point does not exist, right? For such signals, we can calculate the Fourier transform with the help of some intermediate properties, right? We cannot calculate Fourier transform directly with the help of this formula for such signals, right? That's why I use here a word limitedly defined CTFT, means if the signal is power signal, or we can say if signal is not absolutely integrable, for such signals we can calculate its frequency domain representation with the help of some properties, okay? Next is, if the signal is not energy signal, not power signal. For example, my ramp signal, unit ramp signal, the signal value becomes, or we can say tends to infinity as t tends to infinity. For such signals, we can say such signals are unbounded signals, okay? For such signals, continuous time Fourier transform does not exist. It means we can say this is the limitation of Fourier transform. Fourier transform fails to explain the frequency domain representation of unbounded signals, right? So similarly, if my signal x of t is of discrete time nature, this is if say signal is of discrete time, we can use the technique discrete time Fourier transform to find out the frequency domain representation of such signals, right? Again, we have categorized my signal. If signal is of discrete, then we can say it is of x of n, right? We can represent discrete time signals in terms of its parameter n, right? And where n is the number of samples, right? If x of n is again absolutely summable, here we will use the word summable, or we can say if the signal is my energy signal, so we can directly use the formula to calculate the Fourier transform, right? For such signals, we can use directly the formula to calculate its frequency domain representation. Whereas if my signal is power signal, of the signal, if we can say signal is not absolutely summable but it is bounded, then we will use we will calculate the Fourier transform of the signals with the help of some intermediate properties. Again, if my signal is neither energy nor power signal, then the discrete time Fourier transform fails to explain frequency domain representation of such signals, okay? Now there are other two transform came into picture which deals with the failures of these transformations. First of all, Laplace transform came to explain, or we can say to overcome, the limitation of continuous time Fourier transform. Laplace transform explain the frequency domain representation of unbounded signals, but within some region of convergence, that is known as the ROC. So in Laplace transform we will come to know about the ROC, its importance with respect to my answer, right? Every frequency domain representation in Laplace transform, that is done with the help of its ROC. Okay, so Laplace transform came into picture to overcome the limitation of continuous time Fourier transform, whereas in discrete time Fourier transform, Z transform came into picture to overcome the limitation of DTFT. Means with the help of Z transform we can represent the signal in terms of its frequency. Which type of signal? The signals which are neither energy nor power signals. So this is the basic overview of all type of transformations. In the coming lecture I will focus only on the Fourier transform first, right? First of all I will complete the CTFT, then I will move to the DTFT, then Laplace transform, then Z transform. Similarly I will come later on the Fourier series, because as part of the GATE syllabus CTFS is important, DTFS is not so important, but I will give you some basic overview of DTFS as well. So thanks for watching this video. Happy learning.